All right. Hello, everyone. OC.
What's going on?
Here we
How you
live,
feeling?
man.
Okay, awesome, fantastic. Listen, welcome everybody to the third edition of Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters. Boss Cowboy is playing tricks, okay, and he caught me off guard, so I'm looking
When I
down.
say we going live, we going
Boss,
live. It was those shocks in
Boss
that, brother.
Cowboy playing. He playing jokes. So
Oh,
listen,
okay.
welcome everybody.
It's my fault.
Hosted by yours truly, the OC and the man himself, Boss Cowboy.
Hey, man,
So
what's up,
we got a
man?
whole lot to get into.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, how you doing, boss?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Like, I wish we could have got him in live, but we gonna still be able to get this fire interview with Blue. I'm gonna just call him, and then we gonna get him in that way. But we got everything queued up to where it's gonna still be first class, cause you really gotta meet this guy. He is something phenomenal in terms of strength, coaching, and all of that good stuff. So, so we gonna get him on in a second. But yeah, man, how's everything going?
Fantastic. Now I'm glad we live. Sorry about the little glitch here at the beginning, but the fans are forgiven. We got a lot of great information, a great show lined up for you, and a lot to get into about all the topics we'll be covering, which will slowly unfold them for you as we move forward here.
Absolutely. So, real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and get Blue on. Before I do that, we have a couple of topics we can just get into just briefly. Um, so I'm going to start with, I guess, a real easy one. Okay. Why Stephen Jones basically comparing Dak Prescott to Jalen Hurts? You want to expound on that?
I mean, he's a African American athletic quarterback with a strong arm. But in terms of history and winning games, there's actually no real comparison. I think that obviously we know that Dak Prescott has put up tremendous numbers. He's been a winning quarterback. He's been a proven team leader. Jalen Hurts is a great up-and-comer, and actually we spoke about this a couple weeks back. You see even now that Wentz is saying he wants to be traded if he's not going to be started. And I told you before, the OC told you, that he was feeling that pressure. So what you're seeing now is the revelation of that. And so, as Jalen Hurts plays well these last couple of games, which I anticipate that he will, it's going to be very, very difficult for the Eagles in terms of decisions and what they have to do to deal with Carson Wentz because of the fact that he's no longer going to be the starter. And that's my prediction, and you're seeing this thing unfold. And but the comparison part, I see the comparison part. I definitely see it. But however, at this point, Jalen Hurts isn't a proven commodity at this point. So I think we want to hold off on it a little bit, but he looks really good. He looks really good.
Okay, cool. Well, good news, man. We got my boy Blue on. What's up, Blue? All right, so we gonna make it work like this. Everything ain't always perfect, but you just gotta do what you gotta do sometime. All right, before we get started, I want to first kind of showcase who we dealing with. Okay, so we put together some video. All right, so I'm gonna first talk about Earl a little bit, then we go talk about Blue, then we go let him talk, because this is a special interview. Like, this is somebody who really know they stuff. So real quick, you really can't talk about Blue unless you also talking about Earl. I'm not saying Earl is taking his shine. He deserves his own shine because he loves what he does as a strength coach. But first, I want to talk about Earl as I kind of showcase this, because Earl is actually affiliated with the Dallas Cowboys. He's actually building his brand through Jerry and the Dallas Cowboys. So, and this is a very big deal, and I love everything about what Earl is doing. It's actually genius. So to mix his brand is mixing his brand with the biggest franchise, sports franchise in the world. And then on top of that, he's uniting the whole city of Dallas. And he's doing stuff that where it's almost presidential. When you look at the fact that he also pulling the local rappers like Yellow Beezy, Trap, all those guys, local trainers, like who we have on Blue, doing PR moves with the Dallas Cowboys. He's building his own brand and he's doing it with class. Because you have the Mayweather types who basically got rich being the bad guy. But then you have the Spence type who's doing it the clean way and doing it based off handshakes and friendships. So that brings me to Blue, because I got to introduce him. So when you look at Blue, and I had the privilege of just running into him in my barbershop, just running to him, man. And I recognized him because I was always researching Earl. And when I saw him, I was like, bruh, you Spence trainer. And he was cool, humble, like, yeah. But just look at this stuff, man. I mean, next level. Because I played Division I football, so I'm very aware of strength coaches. But there's a difference between a guy being able to put muscle on you and put strength on you. So that's why I wanted to talk with this guy, because you can see from this video that he's doing stuff that requires strength, not just muscles, strength. So we're gonna get into that because he's somebody that I can even envision being a consultant or even a specialist for the Cowboys. So Blue, what's up, man? How you doing? Yes. And listen, man, like I really researched you, bro. Like, and when I ran into you, I already was doing the research. They saying you low, so I'm gonna turn you up a little bit. And I really see that that is your focus. And I'm gonna say this, as I was even preparing for this interview, there are certain people, bro, and I really mean this, I'm not tooting your horn. There are certain common sense that's genius. And there are certain people that you don't even realize what's around you. Like you don't, like, because I'm gonna play this video and watch it on your phone and we go get around and talk about it. Just hold on real quick. All right, Blue.
Do the Diamond Star setup. Let them see it. It's a Diamond Star setup. This right here is for to get endurance. You know, you see a lot of. I remember when a lot of people was talking about Earl fighting Carol Brook. Now this is not what we do. Because like I said, what I do with Earl is top secret. Right. Anybody want that, they gotta pay me. You know what I'm saying? But this right here will give you endurance, because a lot of boxers, they have endurance, but they don't have the strength. So like I was about to say, I laughed when I was reading the comments and commentaries about can Earl sustain his power throughout the entire duration of the fight. And if you watch any fight that Earl has, when he fights, he gets stronger as the fight. He gets stronger as the fight goes. You understand what I'm saying? So the way that I work with him is to make sure that he gets stronger as the fight goes. Not that he lasts through the whole fight. He gets stronger during the fight. And a lot of people don't understand how to condition somebody to get stronger as the fight goes. So, like I said, because he works out with Derek, he works out with Derek James and he works out by himself. But what I do specifically, when he trains with me, my whole target is to make him get stronger as the fight goes. And if you watch all Earl fights, when he fights, he's already strong, he's already powerful, but he gets stronger as the fight goes. And that's the difference between him and every other boxer that I know.
All right, Blue.
Yes, sir.
All right, so they were saying they can't hear you, man. I turned you up now. I should have you real loud. Listen, I hope you heard what we heard, man, because it was when you did the interview with man, I want to give him his credit, but I did showcase the video. It was the one where you was talking about where Earl gets stronger because how you condition him.
Yeah.
So, and you know, I was listening to you and I was like, because we go spend all off season basically on strength and conditioning, and we know we not gonna ask you for your secret sauce at all, because obviously it's a trade secret. But man, if we could wrap you up and put you with the Dallas Cowboys, like OC, real quick, who do you think could benefit from somebody who knows how to condition strength?
Well, first of all, Boss Cowboy, I mean, everybody can benefit from that.
No.
And what I noticed when I just saw some of the clips of Blu-ray is you notice the push-up planks, the jacks, you notice balance and off center a little bit.
Right.
So you notice things like that. And that, to me, really exhibits a lot of core strength, a lot of core stability, right? Which is like where all that power is gonna come from on the football field.
Right.
Really, a question I would really love for Blue to answer, just in general, if he didn't mind, is that when he looks at like a professional football player, just on a general level, right? What are some of the key things and key attributes that he sees and how he would address it?
Yeah, well,
from a strength perspective.
Yeah, Blue.
Yes, sir.
See, I'm 3-win right now, so we going right all the way back to old school where you tell me and I tell you. Well, the OC, we basically low-key PRing you, trying to give you more exposure, because my question was, what positions and what players could particularly use your training, like strength training? Like, this is not a guy that's gonna get you in shape, because obviously he gonna get you in shape. His specialism is getting you strong. So listen, I already wrote down some people that I know would change. He would change the Dallas Cowboys. I think all interior players need this guy. Like, I'm serious. I think all your offensive linemen, he should be a consultant for them. I think all your defensive line, people that need that bench press. I play corner.
Yeah.
I don't care about no damn, bench press. My feet was my key. No, this guy is the guy you need for strength. Because if anybody watched Earl, he did not lie on that video we just said. Earl is notorious for wearing you down and drowning you in the late rounds, and he gets stronger. You want to talk on that, Blue?
Well, in my opinion, that's what I specialize in. Like, I get excited when I see someone get stronger. So getting stronger is my thing. Like, I can train for anything, but getting stronger is my specialty. I'm a, y'all know, you remember Belton Johnson, who used to play for the New England Patriots?
Yeah.
Yeah, I trained him. And I remember, let me tell you how I met him, though.
Yeah.
I met him, we were in the gym. And like I said, you could call Belton. I could call him on the phone and he put him on the phone and he'll testify to this.
Right.
And so we were in the gym and he was throwing up weights. He's real strong. He's strong as hell. So he was just throwing some weights up. And he was, he kind of cocky. So he's kind of, talking noise or whatever. So I'm in the gym working out, minding my own business. And so he, one of our mutual friends that knew each other, and he said, "I bet you can't." He said, "You go hard, but I bet you can't outwork that little dude over there." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you know, Belter what? He like 215, all muscle, even when he wasn't playing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So Belter part of me, he said, look, that's a dude right there. He was like, yeah. And so I turned around. I said, what you want to do? I said, what you want to do? And so I said, well, I'm not a weightlifter. And weights is not my specialty. And this was at the time when I wasn't lifting weights. Now I do lift weights. But this was years ago, when he had, I think he just stopped playing for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Right.
He had torn his stomach. I mean, he had because he had played years for the Patriots with a torn ACL, didn't even know it. And then when he did a physical, when he went to the I think he went to the Vikings, and then I think he went to Philadelphia. And then when he went to Philadelphia, he did a physical, and they told him he didn't pass because he had a torn ACL. So I met him after that. And so he wasn't in the league anymore, but he was still in great shape. So we ended up having, just a competition with, doing a bunch of calisthenics. And, I smoked him. I'm going to be honest with you, I smoked him. And but after that, he gained respect from me. We started working out together, started training together. And he was like, bro, I didn't realize how weak I was until I started pulling my own body weight. So even though, like, if I was to work with linemen, I would keep them strictly on weight. But at the same time, I would still teach them how to lift their own body weight. And not only that, understand how to sustain. See, a lot of dudes, they just want to lift heavy, and that's fine. But can you lift moderate for 2 hours straight? Can you lift moderate weight for an hour straight? Because not only do you have to have endurance, but you still have to have strength to lift a certain weight for a certain amount of time. And so a lot of people, they just train for 1 rep max and things of that nature, which is okay. I'm all for having 1 rep max, but my main thing is conditioning with a weight that that whoever your opponent is.
Oh, hey, blue. Hold on. No. Don't start giving away no trade secrets. You talking lift? No. We keeping that in D-Town, man. Hey, real quick, man. First, OC, did you have another question for him?
Yeah, so, my perspective is obviously interior line play and things like that. So, how, and just give us one thing, just in general, Blue, how would your method of training help a team like the Cowboys that have had shoulder injuries, that have had knee injuries, that have had back injuries?
Yeah.
Right?
So,
how is your style of training relevant to help a power athlete?
Yeah, I'm gonna relay it
because
he can't hear you, so I'm gonna relay it and let him answer for the people. And I know y'all.
Sure.
I'm gonna turn this background music off too, man, so y'all can really hear him. Now, check this out. Blue, he asks, what can your style of strength training do for players that struggled or had injuries?
That had injuries?
Yeah, like shoulders, knees.
Well, of course they're going to get stronger, but there's other, like if they had, knee issues and things of that nature, we would focus on getting stronger, but at the same time, we would focus on a different genre of fitness to make sure that we work on their stability muscles. It's kind of like a gymnast, right? A gymnast might not have the most muscles like a bodybuilder, but they work muscles that bodybuilders don't work. That's why they can do an iron cross at 175 pounds and sit there in the air and levitate their body. Because it's not the muscle, it's not the pecs, it's not the bicep, it's not the tricep. It's those muscles that you don't know the name of that's very important to be able to do certain isometric movements with your body weight to sustain a certain level of strength.
Right. So, Blue, man, listen, I'm gonna have to. We're gonna have to do this again, bro.
I do everything. I do calisthenics, I do weights, I do yoga, I do everything.
Man, listen, man, we already showcased you, man. It looked like you do everything. But Blue, we're gonna have to get you back, bro. Because I don't want to do this interview with technical difficulties. I don't. Like, we've already pretty much done it, but we'll schedule it after Christmas because we're gonna be on this campaign hard. And I'm lobbying for you. I'm being all the way honest with you. I'm lobbying for you because I see your work, and you know, the good book always says a man's gift makes room for him. And everywhere you go, it's like it's obvious that you have a love for what you do. So we go in this one just short this time, but real quick, let everybody know where they can find you and how they can support and how they can link up with you if they trying to get training or whatnot or have people now. And I want to warn y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all something because I already fully investigated Blue. Blue is not training boxers that's even might compete with Spence. He's loyal. They're like brothers. It's not gonna be about the money. So if you try to refer him another boxer, hold on, no, I can't let you go. I can't let you go. I gotta ask you a question before you go. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Real quick. So I know this. We go talk about football, y'all. Y'all be patient. I know it's a little technical. We go get back pretty in a minute. But I gotta talk about my boy, Mr. Crawford. Because Crawford asking for 60-40. Now, I said, you dodging. You are dodging Earl with that offer. Because we just showed, check out the show when you get off. We showed all the work that Earl put in to build his brand. Partnering with Jerry, getting the whole Cowboys to lobby, filling up AT&T Stadium. Why is Crawford asking for 60-40? Can you please help me? I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb. Can you help me?
To be honest, I have no idea why Terrence Crawford is asking for 50-50 or 60-40. You know, at the end of the day, you know, Earl, like you said, Earl has built his brand up because people got to understand outside of boxing, it is a business.
Right.
So Earl is just saying, hey, take. It's like this. Take the Mayweather approach. When Mayweather fought De La Hoya, he took 30%.
Right.
De La Hoya picked the gloves. De La Hoya picked the venue. Mayweather let him say, hey, whatever you want, we're going to do it because he was confident in his abilities. He said, you know what, if I'm going to beat you, I'm going to beat you regardless. And then if I beat you, then I can call the shot. So I'll sacrifice your 30% and let you get your 70 so that I can be the A side from moving on forward. And that's exactly what happened. So if Terrence Crawford want to be the A side, the only thing he has to do is to take the 30%. And he knew he moved up into Earl's weight class that he was already settled in and already had a name in, knowing that he was the big dog there. So the only thing he had to do was say, hey, whatever y'all want to do, I'll do whatever. I just want to fight. Cool. I'm not even going to politics get away. I just want to fight. And if he do that, then, hey, if he win, he win. You know, but, you know, at the end of the day, you know what's going to happen. Man down.
Man. Damn.
So look, Boss Cowboy, I'm gonna
Hey,
jump in
hold
here.
on.
Hold
Man,
My co-host. Oh, you can hear him? Can you hear him?
No, I can't hear nobody. I just
Okay. OC, we go get him back. You know, with his, you know, because he did this before the holidays. Hopefully, Blue, you come back. Because I can tell my co-host wants to debate you, man. I can see it on his face.
No debate. I'm just co-signing. No debate.
Oh, no. Okay. Hold on. Okay.
Why you
No
can't
debate.
put us on three-way?
I would, but I don't want. It's too technical already. I'm gonna get you back when it's clean and pretty, man. You know where.
Because I was gonna say he can call my other phone.
Blue. Hey,
No
Blue.
debate, Boss
Hey,
Cowboy.
listen. Blue, hold on. Are you born and raised in Dallas?
Yeah, I'm out of Holly Hills, yeah.
Oh my God, you a Holly Hills boy?
Yeah.
Oh man, hey, I'm sick of Hills, man. I'm raised right down the street from you, man. So
Yeah.
that's, hey, I love you even more, bro. I'm glad you are like rooted in Dallas. Hey man, we got to do this again. So before we let him go, I'm gonna show y'all his Instagram because he do.
Yeah. If anybody want to contact me personally, like right now, what I've been doing since early on in fights, once or twice a year, I'm helping everyday people get stronger. Also, with just some foundational stuff that'll help them get stronger. The only thing they got to do is direct message me personally, leave a phone number. I will call them back. I'm open to help any and everybody. If you go on my Instagram page, you'll see that I'm helping regular people get stronger also. I'm not giving them the sauce, but I'm giving them some drip.
Yeah, cause see, I talked to Blue, and Blue is gonna help train my sons. They both fighters. You have to give them a little drip though, man. I mean, you got to get more than a swallow. You know what I mean? Hey, but thanks for coming on, man. We gonna definitely do this again. It's gonna be prettier next time. And man, happy holidays, and thanks for being our first guest. But we gonna make sure we market this and put your information out there. Y'all make sure y'all reach out to him if you're really trying to get strong, or if you know an athlete that's trying to get strong or needs strength. This is his specialty. And I'm glad you said
one kid, they reached out to me football, like, and his son gained 7 pounds in 2 weeks because he's trying to get his son bigger. He's a cornerback. So, like I said, I do it all: lose weight, gain weight, whatever.
Yeah, and please reach out to this guy, because some people train and some people have a calling. Like, listen, the only time I saw him show that big smile, because he got a real big smile, real big. But when you see it, is when he finished doing pull-ups. I'd be like, what's wrong with this dude, man? who get done with pull-ups and just cheese? I mean, I'm talking about from ear to ear, like he loves it. You can tell that he's living his dream to actually train and do this. So anyway, Blue, we go catch up, man, and we go do this again, okay?
Okay, my brother.
Okay, now.
All right, God bless.
Thanks, Blue.
All right, Jabbar. I mean, OC. I ain't mean to give out your real name. But yeah.
No, that's fine. That's my middle name. You good?
Okay, listen. So yeah, we wanted to tease you a little bit with Blue. Thanks everybody for kind of hanging in there. I know that was a little bit technical, and we go showcase a little bit. But yeah, man, what's your thoughts on it, real quick, OC?
Yeah, I just think that, the tie-in guys to the Cowboys is that strength and conditioning prevents injury. Strength and conditioning enhances performance. And so when you have a bunch of injuries and teams getting decimated by injuries, you got to look into the strength and conditioning. I will give you that COVID did hurt some of the prep and did hurt some of the conditioning aspects of the team. But however, from a foundational standpoint, that is really the secret sauce for any top organization, is the strength and conditioning. Even if we look at the Patriots, several years back, they had a very, very specific strength and conditioning regimen, and their players worked harder during the week, I would say, than most teams in the NFL. But you saw a very, very low rate of injuries or season-ending injuries. So I think that those are the things that'll be really key for the Cowboys to build the foundation to be a championship team, and also improve upon the players that they have in terms of year 1 and year 2, getting better, gaining muscle, increasing speed, increasing performance. Even when I played in college and me and Boss Cowboy played in the same place, it was very, very critical and key to our development. And we even saw differences in ourselves and the rest of the team when we switched from a certain style of strength and conditioning to another style of strength and conditioning. So it's critical, super important.
Yeah, man, I want to add to it as well. One of the things that I want to honestly say, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, is strength and conditioning coaches and strength and conditioning specialists are greatly undervalued, I believe, in all professional sports. I think the people, like, if you go look at the work that David Robinson was able to do with Dez to even get him back in the league, who publicly admitted that he was coming from a depressed state. And so from that depressed state, and a guy being able to restore your confidence and then get your body back to where you can actually play back in it, National Football League, And that's just the warm and fuzzy. But you said something that I want to just kind of talk about briefly too. Me and you playing together, hired one of the best strength and conditioning coaches in the country. His name was Coach Swayze. I know we gonna be able to get him on at some point. He was my defensive backs coach, but he was also the strength and conditioning coach. Around that time when Miami was winning all those national championships, he was the strength and conditioning coach. When they had the fastest athletes in the combines, he was the strength and conditioning coach. I'm talking about mine and the OC. I had a bad strength and conditioning coach. I went from a 4.4 low up to a 4.6 in college, which is garbage. We got Coach Swayze and went right back down to a 4.4 in one off season. And the University of Houston fired him. And I'm talking about with data. With I'm faster. Emil White was faster. William Fields was faster. Our guys were faster. The game of football is more about speed than it is your bench press. And they most people, like, look what they're talking about now, see? Everybody just talking about what? Defensive coaches, firing McCarthy. Nobody talks about the people who touch everybody.
Right. Yeah, it's so critical and key, and we could talk about this forever and ever. But I'll tell you one thing: your strength and conditioning coach is the contributor to touchdowns, to runs after catches, to tackles for loss, to sacks, to ripping off big runs, to breaking tackles with hip and knee power. They're so relevant for every aspect of the game that without them, or without the appropriate protocols in place and training in place, it's a detriment to the organization. And even if you talk about college, I mean, you can look at the Cornhuskers. They had a famous strength and conditioning coach back in the early 90s. They were just bigger, stronger, and faster than everybody. They had huge linemen that were fast, huge running backs that were fast. It was all a formula to create that. Right? When you look at endurance and you look at the strength of some of the great teams that are in the league right now that, make players better when they get into their system. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they have a system of training, and I know a couple players that play there, and they have a system of training, a system of strength and conditioning that their key players, for the most part, they don't get hurt, and they're strong and they're pretty explosive. That's all a formula of conditioning.
I mean, well said. And to my point, nothing hurt the Dallas Cowboys more this year than injuries. So rest in peace, obviously, to Marcus, who passed, the strength and conditioning coach. And when we move on and start to upgrade, that's important that we find somebody that's going to have his, I would say, heart as well. Because people take that part for granted. Like, Marcus was loved. You could tell. The strength and conditioning coaches really, a lot of times, have to get in there with you. Like, you know this from being injured before. You injured your ankle. I injured my shoulder. People don't know that it's a lot of times it's those strength and conditioning coaches who will get you to believe in yourself. Because you're with them with dark days. You with them when people forgetting about you, when the crowd is competing, cheering for your competitor. The guy that you're competing with on the team. And you trying to get back out there and show the world that I belong. And usually it's one guy that's right there with you the whole time. So we gonna be spending some time on this, and we got a lot of guests. I even got a doctor that's coming on. He already committed, because he's gonna talk about what players have to do to get back on the field, because he actually disagreed with me. He said strength and conditioning don't have anything to do with injuries. I was like, whoa, doctor? Oh, you? He said, I'm a doctor. I said, well, you the doctor after they hurt. I'm trying to get, I don't want them to see you. And he was like, no, but I'll come on the show and I'll convince you. I'm like, okay, cool. So we gonna even get because to me, that's problem number one. So we gonna get into our next topic real quick. Before we do, obviously, you know, people watching us from different ways. You know, they watching us on the bed. Some people watching us in cars. It's all kind of stuff that's going on. But make sure, because we streaming right now, finally, to YouTube as well. So y'all get on in there, hit them likes, hit them shares, hit those subscribes, and then we go get into our next topic. Because before we do, make sure you start sharing. Because the next stuff we getting ready to talk about gonna get a little bit heavy. Because we already started off a little technical, but going forward, it's finna be baby butt smooth. So yeah, OC, did you have something else?
Yeah, so look, definitely, if you guys want to support us and you like the show, you like what we're doing, you can support us, $ Boss Cowboy, via Cash App. We'll add in some other ways that you can be a part of the family and be a part of our insiders. But hey, if you want to help us produce more content, you like what we're doing, you want to help us do more shows more frequently, better guests, all those things, please support us. $ Boss Cowboy in the Cash App.
All right. So this topic is coming from my boy, Will Still Senior. He said, great show, fellas. What's OC's take on filming and how he's getting some development of Irving, McGovern, Williams, etc.? You can't see the other part, but that's what he wanted to talk about. You got some thoughts on that, OC?
Yeah, Will, great question. First of all, I mean, Philbin has been notorious for developing offensive linemen through his career. If we look back at the Green Bay Packers and what he's done with those offensive lines in a West Coast spread style offense, he's been great at developing one-on-one blockers with great sets that have great feet. And he's been really good at developing one-on-one blockers that are more than adequate, or at least adequate run blockers. So, I mean, his pedigree historically has been very, very successful. I like the job he's done with the offensive line across the board. It creates more depth. It gives us more options. It gives us negotiation power. And it also gives us just key assets as we go into the next year. So developmentally speaking, he's done a great job. It's only so much development and technical stuff you can do as offensive line coach when you're thrown in the fire and you got guys who haven't played NFL snaps. Some of these guys just got to get quicker, you know, lateral movement. We can dig into that with some Pacific people on some film breakdowns. We'll do that maybe on another show this week or early next week. And some guys just got to get in the weight room. They got to get a little bit stronger. They got to eat a little more. They got to get a little bit stronger to have more power, to have more push, to create run lanes for Zeke, for Pollard, and whoever else is back there running the ball. So he's done overall a great job. I think his pedigree is fantastic. And I think that, you know, from a coaching perspective and from what I've seen, I mean, he's a keeper. He's done a great job.
Yeah, real quick, do you think it's anything about filming that can actually improve?
Improve. Yeah, I definitely think that
Will's question still.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, so I mean, with Coach Joe, I mean, here's the thing. I've coached offensive linemen from high school. You know, I've even worked one-on-one with some pros, and Boss Cowboy shared some of that content in a future show. You know, I've worked out with them, I've set them, helped them get ready going into the season. I think that what great offensive line coaches do, and I'll give you one, and we'll actually get him on the show too, Clancy Barone, who's with the Vikings right now. He was my offensive line coach. Great guy, understands the game. I think that, you know, you need to be a great teacher. And I think that the patience, when you're dealing with young players, sometimes it's not there because you're used to dealing with pros. You're used to dealing with guys that have played 4 or 5 years in the NFL that understand, different sets, 1 set, 2 set, 3 set, 4 set, 5 set. They understand hand placement, understand shoulder pushes, they understand certain things. So if you're a drill sergeant, so to speak, sometimes mentally you disconnect with players. And even though these guys are highly paid professionals, these guys are still people, they're still players. And so they can tune out, they cannot understand. So I think becoming a better teacher and having the patience to deal with guys who are not really coming up to snuff will be a great developmental thing for coach from what I've seen and what I've observed with the Cowboys this year. But again, overall, hey, can't be mad at the man. The man has overall done a very, very
Yeah, man. Well, I'll say this about Philman. I really do feel like he's accomplished mission impossible. When you look at, and I think we take it for granted. I really do. And that's why I want to highlight
sure.
Will's question, Will Steele's question. Skywalker Steele, awesome show too. Because I stand with Steele on that. I think he's not getting the recognition that he deserves. Because see, offensive line itself, I feel sorry for you guys, bro. Because you guys never get recognition, like for real. Like they treat you guys like mothers. Like you do all the work and nobody say thank you. Oh, for real. Y'all do all the work and nobody says thank you. So like,
that's true.
Yeah, I mean
that's true. You get blamed for everything, but credit for nothing. I mean, that's really what it is. You get blamed for everything. Oh, the pressure. Oh, offensive line. Oh, no run game. Offensive line sucks. Zeke scored 5 touchdowns. Zeke is the greatest running back ever. Dak threw for 6 touchdowns. Oh, he's fantastic. Look at Dak in the pocket. No word about the offensive line.
Yeah, like
so
even now,
that's how it is, though.
Everybody's showing charts, right, of the alleged Zeke decline. You know what they don't write in? The also decline of the people around him. Like for some reason they think quarterbacks play against the whole defense and they think running backs just play by themselves. Like, no.
Right.
Like, you literally have to train your eyes to look at the collisions that happen in front. Because your eyes from the cameras go usually follow the ball. So, real quick, I want to take my boy Jaquez's question real quick and get your insight on it. Real quick. He said, here quietly, Connor Williams has been playing pretty well. What's your thoughts on that, O?
Jaquez, you're absolutely correct, sir. Well said, and you're actually watching the game. He's been very solid. He's not at the Pro Bowl. He's not at the Pro Bowl level, but he's a very solid starter as it relates to an NFL a player. He's been very, very solid, man. He's been really solid on pass pro. He's actually increased his strength. He's actually become a better drive blocker. So I think that Connor McGovern quietly has been playing very well. So well said, Jaquez. 100% agree.
Could you elaborate on that just a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're looking at the whole offensive line across the board, I think that, across the board, what you've seen is gradual, progressive improvement from each of the starting 5. Obviously there are nuances. Obviously there are things that they need to improve upon. And I mentioned that before. Some guys just need to get stronger. Some guys just need to get better on their lateral movement. I don't want to name names. I really want to break that down for you guys and show you via film. Some guys just need to get better with how they carry their hands when they're kicking back and when they're setting pass rushers, so they don't get bull rushed and they don't get hit in the chest and driven into the quarterback. So you got things of that nature. So Connor McGovern overall, he's had an injury. He's came back from an ACL. So to me, he's done a fantastic job. I think that out of the offensive linemen that have played, I would say him and Joe Looney will probably be the top 2 linemen overall in terms of performance, which you would expect. because those guys are the veteran guys, and those guys, have the most game experience. But I really want to get into talking about this Zeke fiasco, this Zeke decline.
Hold on,
Pollard
man.
should start argument.
You ready to go there?
But I'm teeing it up for you, Boss Cowboy, because I'm
I'm
ready to get
cool,
into this
man.
thing.
Let's go. Hey, man, I'm not stuck.
Look, I just really want.
We
Listen,
flexible.
I want to speak about the numbers.
You want to get into the numbers and all? Hold on,
this
before you do all that, listen, I already got it queued up. I got it queued up for you already, brother. Like, it's all kind of news going on Pollard versus Zeke. And matter of fact, I'm telling you straight up, the guy who just had that comment, who was bigging up you and all of that, I set y'all up for a fight and y'all don't even know it. The first scheduled comeback fight is gonna be between Geechee, who goes by Jaquez, and the OC on this topic. So we talking Tony Pollard versus Zeke. Because let me just read some of these news clips, because it's everywhere. One of them says, the first one, Tony Pollard's 2 days for Cowboys bring out Ezekiel Elliott haters, including Skip Bayless. I mean, call Skip out by name. Goodness. And then the second one, what Tony Pollard's big day against 49ers mean for Dallas Cowboy and Ezekiel Elliott? Okay, that's pretty bland. They ain't shoot no shots at it, no gunfire. The third, Tony Pollard thrives versus 49ers in place of injured Ezekiel Elliott. Is he the Cowboys' best running back? Help me, OC. Talk to me, please, sir.
Oh, Lord. I mean, okay. Do you remember Dennis Green
attitude
right before he got fired? No, listen. Do you remember Dennis Green before he got fired for the Arizona Cardinals when they lost the close game against the Bears?
I don't.
And he was frustrated, and he was up at the podium, and he said, "They were what we thought they were."
Okay, I remember
They
that.
were exactly what we thought they were. Remember that?
Yeah.
Then he got fired the next day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So listen. As it relates to
but hold on,
Tony Pollard's
before you go too deep, just remember you have a fight about this coming. It's scheduled already. Date to be decided. Go ahead, though.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. I'll fight 5 people in the chat about this. That's fine. We can go back to back to back. No break. Okay.
Whoa.
Listen. Tony Pollard is the best backup running back for the Dallas Cowboys. Okay? That's what Tony Pollard is. He gives you an explosive burst, 40-yard run. We saw that. He gives you the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. He showed that, average about 10 yards a touch. He gives you the ability to have a change of pace, quick hitting, momentum shifting type plays. Is he the best running back? No.
Oh, you gotta say more than no, man. Come on.
So no. Listen, I'm giving you some more. I'm giving you some more. Listen.
I'm waiting.
We're talking. We're
hold
talking
on
about
real quick.
5
I can already
years.
see Jaquisha. Because it's a split in the fan base. I don't care what nobody say. It's an epic split. They watching you, and when they watching you, they sitting here like, boy, stop. Because it's a lot of people right now who want my boy Z cut. They turn around slow and dramatic, and they try to get him out of here. So, I mean, go ahead, man. Please try to talk these people into it, because people are not believing in Zeke right now.
Listen, Ezekiel Elliott has missed 1 game. And we're talking about throwing the baby out, the big old baby, the big old bell cow baby, and the bathwater. We're talking about 1 game in 5 years. We're talking about an Ezekiel Elliott who actually has almost, with 2 games left, the same per carry average that he did when he played on a all-star offensive line, okay? An all-star offensive line back in 2017 when he only played 6 games. So now he's playing with backups. He's playing with all backups. And it's 2 games left, and he'll play both of those games.
Chat's going crazy on this subject. Keep going. They going crazy.
So listen. I appreciate Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard is a good running back. Tony Pollard is not a proven commodity. Tony Pollard is not Ezekiel Elliott. Tony Pollard is not an everyday running back at this point. And I'm sorry, guys. And I want to read Keon's comment here. Tony needs to split out in the slot, run some jet tosses. TP is an every down back, but he can be very useful. Well said, sir. He is a change of pace back. He's the perfect complement change of pace back. You cannot get rid of an average of almost 300 carries, okay, over Zeke's career for 12 carries that Pollard showed you, okay? And he's averaged on those carries, okay, 5.8 yards. But there was one particular carry when he ran for 40 yards. Let's look at the rest of the 11 carries. What was his average per carry the rest of the 11 carries? You want to know what it is? I'll tell you. It was 2.6 yards a carry. Inside running this football, 2.6 yards a carry. Take away the 40-yard carry. Yeah, 2.6 yards a carry on 11 carries. Man. What is Zeke averaging this year with backups? 3.9 yards a carry.
I can't wait to see this
with
fight
backups with
between
2 games left.
Geechee, y'all get ready.
Come
My
on,
boy Geechee coming for you, man. Geechee wants you bad.
Okay, come on then. Bring it on.
I mean,
Bring it on.
Is going crazy. Hold on real quick.
Bring it on.
It's not too bad. Don't fuss at him, man. I
ain't fussing at him. I'm just passionate about what I believe as it relates to this topic, okay? And that's for Boss Cowboy Nation, and that's also for all the future insiders as well, okay? We're going to talk a lot more about that later. But hey, this for y'all. I love you. The OC love you. Listen, the OC ultimately, the OC is your homeboy, okay? I'm your homeboy.
I can't wait to see this. Listen.
I'm here to talk ball with you, but we got to tell you the truth.
All right, listen, we go switch up topics, and this topics is coming from y'all right now. Y'all the ones leading the show. Like, we got planned topics, like we got 5 I can get you right now that's fire. But y'all going too hard to skip this stuff. Can I add one more, just real quick? I'm gonna let you address it first too, because I think this is a good one.
Good comment, Douglas. I like Douglas's comment.
Hold on.
And he's from Memphis, by the way.
Oh yeah, Douglas. Oh yes, my
Douglas's
man.
comment is
the big
powerful.
Time show. Let's go.
Pollard is not a workhorse. He's a complimentary running back. It is not an insult. He was not a starting running back at Memphis.
Okay.
I live here in Memphis, and ... I couldn't see the rest of his comment because I'm looking on the computer screen. Great comment, Douglas. 100% agreed, Mr. Brooks Jr.
Oh yeah, that's
Fantastic.
Bishop Brooks. Let's get it right, man. We gonna show him pastoral.
Bishop Brooks. I'm sorry, Bishop. God bless.
You know
sorry, sir.
And he's working on his
Bishop
doctorate,
Brooks. Okay.
Like, you know. So.
All right, Bishop.
The big time
Bishop
show.
in the house.
Let's go. All right, let's address this one, man. Let's address this one. Check this out. I think this is a good one. I'm gonna let you kick it off because it's, you go by the OC. It's not too many offensive-minded podcasters. So everybody wanna hear from the OC on this one. Zeke here to stay. Kellen Moore possibly leaving for Boise State is big. Who would you like to see as next OC if Moore departs? I got some.
Oh man, that is a great question, William. Yeah. That's a fantastic question. Listen, Kellen Moore. I think Kellen Moore is going to be because of how he's proven himself offensively. And let's go back and talk at the beginning of the year. Okay, let's look at the breaking, world-changing numbers, right? That Dak Prescott was putting up when Dak Prescott was healthy. It was just tremendous. So I think that, first of all, I don't think Kellen Moore is leaving. I think that Boise State would have to back up a Brinks truck and make him just a tremendous offer that he couldn't refuse. And at this point, because he's proven himself offensively in terms of competency, he would have the opportunity to take other jobs in the NFL. But I don't believe none of that will happen. I believe that the Cowboys would pay him, okay? I believe that the Cowboys would actually pick it up in terms of his in terms of his salary.
Calories.
So, you know, I think his salary. I said calories. I meant salary. I'm thinking about food, guys. I'm hungry. Sorry.
Man.
So
Lay that couch and sleep
so anyway,
today, you done yawned 4 times.
No,
Food.
listen. No, listen. I'm gonna make it up for you, okay? I'm gonna make it up for you. Listen, there are several great offensive coordinators out there. I mean, to be honest, I think that they have the opportunity to promote from within. Or also, I think that Mike McCarthy, he's more than an adequate offensive play caller. He's more than an adequate offensive play caller. Mike McCarthy, he's more than an adequate offensive play caller. So I really think if he did leave, that Mike McCarthy would take over those play call duties easily and very happily.
Man, this is another subject. They listen, when we say y'all voice matter, we probably not gonna get to our subjects because y'all keep adding good commentary to this. Like my answers to that question for William would be, honestly, OC, I think Dallas would need to go get the Brinks truck and go try to get Bieniemy and try to do him similar to Will McClay. They paid Will McClay so good that he didn't even want to interview with the Texans. So with coaches, there's no salary cap. And then another guy that would be my go ahead and just back up the Brinks truck and double it would be Lincoln from OU. I would go get him, bro. I would go get him, and I will pay him in the world. And I'm gonna tell you why. We looking at the product currently. 3 transfers all came to him as suspect failures that are very good quarterbacks right now. Am I lying? Mm-hmm. So
you're right.
You see what I'm saying? And
I'm with you.
And he's a good schemer, bro. And I listen to him. His common sense is almost like Blue. You know, because see, common sense and genius people a lot of times figure out how to simplify stuff. They don't go with status quo. They look at stuff and say, why we doing that? Like Lincoln impressed me so much, OC, when he said, we don't practice 7-on-7 at OU. And I'm like, I've done 7-on-7 my whole life and valued it. Mm-hmm. Please explain. Mm-hmm. He said it's the worst thing in terms of simulating what's going to happen to the quarterback. Nothing's safe. It doesn't teach them how to improvise. It doesn't teach them what to do and be off balance, but make the throw. Only pressure does that. So I will always simulate what they're going to see. No 7-on-7.
Brilliant.
Now,
brilliant.
You never played 7-on-7, but me, I was like, I've never thought of that, and it's so common sense, genius. So to William's question, yeah, you can replace him, and I want to kind of piggyback on.
And I want to add something else to that too, Boss Cowboy, when you're done.
Yeah. I want to go back to what Douglas said. With that, McCarthy's best attribute was his play calling. We're not getting the best out of him.
Yeah.
I mean, who?
Look at Green Bay. Look at the Super Bowl in Green Bay. I mean, he can dial it up, man. He's a really good play caller. That's why I said I don't even really think. First of all, I think they'll go ahead and pay. They'll go ahead and pay him because remember this. Kellen Moore was the only holdover on the coaching staff when everybody else was fired. So there's a relationship there. There's something there. So I don't think they're going to quickly let him. They're not going to quickly let him go to Boise State, right? And then think about this in terms of career trajectory, right?
Yeah.
Most coaches want to go up through the ranks professionally in the NFL. Going and being a head coach of a college is great, but it's not the ultimate game on coaches that want to coach in the NFL. And I'll speak to your comment really quickly about my OU coach. He's a great play caller. He's fantastic. But I think that, listen, man, it's going to be really hard to justify the amount of cash that it's going to take for him to leave OU, because he's in a perfect situation. He's going to compete for national championships. He's going to get the top recruits. Why would he do that and not transition into a head coaching position? So I think that it's going to be very, very hard to make him a second man. And then something else, why this is really hard to answer, Boss Cowboy, it's super touch and go, is because if we look at the NFL and we think about the top most explosive play callers, most of them, to me, save Josh McDaniels, which I don't think you're going to be able to pry him away from New England, right? Which to me, he's a good offensive play caller. But think about it. You got Kyle Shanahan. Mm-hmm. You got Andy Reid. Mm-hmm. You got Sean Payton. Mm-hmm. You got Doug Peterson, mm-hmm. right? Those guys are Cliff Kingsbury. Those guys are great play callers. Those guys are all freaking head coaches. So you're going to get into a lower tier of offensive coordinators when you leave that group of guys at the upper echelon. And that's what makes this question a little bit dicey to answer.
Well, I mean, don't make me get that versus button on you, because I will smack you. Because first of all, you
Go
said,
ahead,
why would... Again. To that answer,
you can't press no buttons until you make a point,
no,
Boss Cowboy.
No, I press first because I know I'm finna smash you. And if I hit that versus, I'm gonna smash you so hard. So I'm gonna get it out now. You said, why would Lincoln leave OU for national championships? This is why I won't hit that versus, because it's not even a competition. Why? You talking about the richest franchise. That's why. And I made you sit back again because I know. Man, don't make this too easy. It's the money.
Come on.
That's why I said
I'm about to hurt you.
You said for Lincoln, what would it take? We don't have no salary cap on coaches. You do what it takes. And that's what I was saying. Because Jerry's, I'm going
to hurt you.
Oh, you going to hurt me? Man, come on, bro. I think it's going to be more of the... No, ain't going to be no hurting over here.
What?
You know what I mean? So, it's the money, man. And then... if you come over to the Dallas Cowboys and you Lincoln Riley, you getting a healthy Dak, 3 receivers, a healthy Zeke. You basically just ride Dallas to your next job. You can go back down from the Dallas Cowboys, but very rarely can you ever get a chance to get in this organization and do anything. It's a dream job.
Boss Cowboy.
Almost called me by my real name.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Boss Cowboy. That's how
mess.
serious this is. Boss Cowboy. Listen, sir. How much is Mike McCarthy's contract? It's 5 years, $25 million.
Okay.
It's 5 years, $25 million. So that's an average of how much? Divide 5 by 25. Isn't that $5 million a year?
Yeah. Easy, man.
Okay, great. Okay, good. Thank you. I just want you to acknowledge this, okay, before I just end this conversation in about 30 seconds.
Oh, Lord.
Lincoln Riley's average salary at OU in college, where he's winning and he's in complete control, he has a 42-8 record, is $6.5 million. So you're going to recruit Lincoln Riley, who has produced, at this point, 3 in a row Heisman Trophy winners? He's running OU in Texas. Recruit, wait a second. And you're going to pay him more than you pay the head coach? Make him offensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys? Are you going to give Mike McCarthy a raise and renegotiate his contract so that he doesn't feel personally slighted when you bring Lincoln Riley in as if he's not an adequate play caller and he's won a Super Bowl. This is why he's not coming.
I mean, pretty good point, but it's weak. Listen, because I already know I won that debate. That was easy. Next time, put up a better fight,
Okay.
man. That was too
Let
easy.
the chat,
brother.
hey, let the chat decide.
Because
Boss Cowboy,
listen,
let the chat decide.
The chat gonna decide.
Let the chat decide.
But listen,
Let the chat decide.
that's easy, bro. What did they do with Jason Garrett? They paid him just as much.
Get Lincoln or don't get Lincoln.
It's not. See, you try to switch up the question. You said,
No,
why would
nah.
he leave? Now you trying to make it. I'm moving on to the next topic. All right. And right now, y'all driving
He
the
bailing
topic.
on you.
Nah, because this too easy, man. I'm not going to waste their time. They don't want to watch me demolish you. Come on, man. That's not fun.
Oh,
right,
okay,
listen.
all right.
That's
Next
too
topic.
easy.
Next topic.
All right. So listen. He asked this to me. Hey, boss, picture Kyle Pitts with that too. Yeah. I mean, Kyle Pitts, listen, the fan base already starting to rally behind Kyle. Right where we are right now, it's a lot of fans that's saying, well, we know his grade is not really in cement yet. We haven't witnessed his 40. We haven't witnessed his measurables. He might be turtles out the game, like turtle slow. But film-wise, he's a playmaker. And from film, everybody is saying, I mean, us fans, like based on where we're sitting, yes. And there are some that hate it because they want defense so bad. But especially out of last year, Tavis, I'm cool with BPA and letting it fall and letting the chips fall. I do want to get to our next subject, and I guess I'm gonna make it last because we ate up all the show on what you guys want to talk about, which I appreciate. But I want to talk about this before we get out of here because this gonna probably take some time. It's gonna stir y'all emotions too, maybe. Y'all might be heartless, but let's go, OC. Let's see. Ooh, Jerry. Before I start reading this, Jerry's back.
Okay, go.
He's back.
I call it
Hold on.
the light theory.
Yeah.
Go ahead, boss Cowboy. You got it.
No. Go ahead and expound on the light theory. Take your sweet time. Or do you want to read it? No.
No,
You
put it
got
back up for a second.
Hold on, before I put it back up.
I mean, listen. You know, it's kind of like there's a famous rapper that I know that me and you both used to listen to at least a little bit. I know I did coming up. Ice
Just
Cube.
a little bit. Oh yeah.
Okay, Ice Cube. So
Of course.
Ice Cube said, it was a line on one of his rap songs, and he said, punks
really
run
said?
like roaches with the light on.
Oh,
He said punks run like roaches with the light on.
he used that word.
That's what he said.
Oh.
Yeah, it was more of
Ice
an
Cube
explicitive, but this is a family friendly. This is family friendly, okay?
Yeah.
So, I mean, light theory, man, is hey, man, what happens when a light comes on, and what happens in terms of how you strategize and how you work people in negotiations, which is the lower part of the article. So, I mean, light theory, boss Cowboy. I'm gonna kick it back to you because I know you got a lot to say about this one. But man, I'm just giving a short summary.
Okay. Let's kick it back. All right. I'm gonna read it though. And if y'all don't like to read, drink some water, take a break, and just listen. I call it the light theory. When you walk out of a room, you ought to turn the light off if there's nobody in it. Because all you're doing is keeping a light on for the rats and the mice. There's nobody in there to see the light. So you turn that light off. What you do is on every negotiation, you turn the light off because you may not think you need that light in that room. When you can't afford it, you will need it. There's no question you would need it at a certain time in the future. So you negotiate every time you can for the benefit of having more available for the players around the very player singular, not players, player you're talking to. Now that's not directed at any player. That's just a negotiation. I'm not directed at nobody. I ain't talking about nobody. I ain't talking.
Read
about
that bottom part. That last bottom part.
I'm just giving a little emphasis. That's real. Like, oh, I'm not BSing y'all right now. That's not BS. Oh, okay, sure. Mm-hmm. That's a very real thing. Okay. That's like an ankle injury. That's like depreciation in talent. That's very much a part of what's going on when you're trying to put a team together. Go on, see. Oh my God. Hold on, man. Jerry, I got you, man. I got you, man. I got you.
Jerry.
Jerry.
Now, Dak. This is what we need to do. We need to think about your history of being injured with that ankle. Now, I know this was only the first time that you got injured, but we also have to consider lowering the amount of guaranteed money to make it fair for us. We're trying to build our team. We're trying to get better players. We're trying to make sure that ultimately you're successful and we can make the playoffs. So we need to be fair. And you just need to take about 15 million guaranteed, because we don't know if you're going to be injured again. And after all, we got to draft somebody to replace you here in the next couple of years anyway, because when the salary cap goes up, we're probably not going to match anyway. So you're going to be just, 8 years and then you'll probably be gone anyway. But so we want to protect ourselves and not have dead money on the cap. So we got to do you in, even though we paid Ezekiel 90 million. Because Ezekiel's a running back that, and backs, they slide down around age 29 or 30, but that's okay. We just guarantee him about 100 million, and then quarterbacks have shown that they excel beyond 33 to 36, and they probably decline really with age, nutrition, and good training at probably age around 37, 38. But forget all that, forget all the data. I mean, Zeke's our boy. He reminds me of Emmett, and so you got to take what you
way
get.
too hard.
Is that okay, Dak?
No.
Is that okay?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what I see going on, bro. This is crazy. So first, Jerry is gearing up for war. This is okay. I'm gonna say it like this: Jabari and I, we are both are men of the scriptures. We definitely get into the Bible a lot. Do you remember, Jabari, when Jesus was getting ready to be crucified and Pontius Pilate did the watch this? He basically, if you read the scriptures and the story, he basically was like, watch this, before he played the crowd. And he was, is this the guy? He was getting the crowd ready for, and he worked them. So when you see Jerry, in my opinion, go off into these analogies and these old metaphors and he tries to pretend, because he knows he's walking on eggshells with Dak as well. Because last year and the year before that, they didn't mind pointing directly at Dak. They would literally say, Dak, we expecting you to sign a team-friendly deal, and they would put their finger right in his face. This year, they're talking at Dak. They're not talking to Dak in the public. They're talking at him. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to gear up for the war that's coming. This is also an indication to me that they're already in 2021 as well. Like, we trying to figure out if they trying to make the playoffs. They done already decided they don't. Now, if they make it, they'll take it. But in terms of getting help from front office, they not helping. They not helping. And some of the key stuff, like Jabbar, listen, I'm not talking about you, but I don't like bald head guys that are high yellow around 6'4". They used to play offensive tackle, but I'm not talking about you. I'm not being cute. I'm not talking about you. And you broke your ankle before, right, OC?
Yeah.
I don't like people that
my ankle. Yep, absolutely.
I'm not talking about you. I'm not being cute. But I don't like people that broke their ankles. But I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about the guy. Like, I don't like high yellow black guys. I don't. I like you on the kind of brown to kind of charcoal side. But I'm not talking about you. Now, third paragraph. Now that's not directed at any player. That's just a negotiation. I ain't talking about Dak. That's real. That's not BS. That's a real thing. That's like an ankle injury. Jerry, come on.
Yeah. This is becoming so layered and so deep. We could talk for eons about it. Back to your Pontius Pilate example. When he gave the okay and basically for Jesus to be crucified, it wasn't a personal move. Think about this. It was a political move.
Yeah.
It was a political move.
Yeah.
And a sign of power.
Right.
And so that's what's going on right here. Right? And also, you go bring up depreciation?
You boy.
Didn't you give Tony Romo 150 when he had a spine injury? What's worse, a spine or an ankle?
A spine.
What's worse?
A spine.
Okay, so didn't you give? And I love him. I think he's a really good football player. Jalen Smith. Didn't you extend Jalen Smith after he almost tore his whole kneecap off? I mean, didn't you extend him? What about depreciation there? What about making him prove it there? See, this is a whole bunch of malarkey.
You paid Tank.
This is a whole bunch of malarkey. Tank missing a whole bunch of games, had one big year, gets a big contract, and that's a whole nother conversation. Has he performed up to $100 million contract? Has he? I won't even get into that. All right, that's gonna take me too far.
Not like that. And so
yeah, I mean,
so listen, man.
So what we talking about here?
We talking about, honestly, this is an indication. This is an indication. I said this when I was on Big Game James show. I just said this. The Cowboys don't care about winning first. It's third on their list. It's third on their list. Like Bishop said, straight political. Yeah, he's working the crowd. He's working the crowd. That's what he's doing. He's gearing up, and this is how they make their money. Because when you put out a statement like that, and remember before he paid Jalen, remember he started talking about if you have a severed hand and it's bleeding out. See, that's that Pontius Pilate stuff, where I'm getting ready to work the crowd. I'm getting ready to plant this news bite so that Stephen A. and so that Shannon Sharp and Skip, first thing in the morning, is going to be just talking about us at the expense of our quarterback. So some point we got to just realize that as long as Jerry and Steven are running things, we're going to have to win despite them, not because of them. Because Jerry is not the Jerry that walked in. When Jerry first bought the Cowboys and he said, it's winning is everything and winning is the only thing. But as soon as he got him his 2 Super Bowls, it changed. His new statement became, we want to win positive. Direct quote. And then when he got one with Barry Switzer, he said in the White House, we won this positive. See, when you first walked in, Jerry, you didn't put no conditions on how to win. You just wanted to win. So if you got a bunch of Miami guys that was over the top by most standards, but they gave you that winning edge, you did it. If Charles Haley threw a helmet at your head, you didn't fire him. This is historical. You ducked. You said, I need him to win, and you walked out. When Dion cost twice the market to take him from San Fran, you paid it. That was pre-Jerry. This is a new Jerry. This Jerry is Frank Sinatra. He want to win, but he want to win and make money at the same time off his best players. Because this is all Zeke who again. This is insulting like he did Tank. And then you asking these guys to play. Like, you know this as a lead OC. You play harder and you work harder for leaders that care, bro. Nobody want to work for people that treat them like they expendable. Even if I think you're expendable, I shouldn't treat you that way. I mean, you got anything else on that, man?
Boss Cowboy, I'm gonna tell you something. You know, I mean, you hear rumblings that, you know, a couple weeks ago that, you know, Dak Prescott wants out of Dallas. All right. And really, emotionally, he is really, I think, getting worn down by just a level of disrespect. And you feel like at a certain point as a person, when you're in a hostile environment, and I know you've experienced this before, Boss Cowboy, and I have too, and you've been a top performer, but yet you're not getting respected and treated on a level of your performance, you get weary, you get frustrated, and you look for other options, or you just double down and you stick to your guns and you say, hey, this is business then, but really it's business, but it's also personal, right? Because you want to be paid and enumerated as it relates to how you perform and what you feel like you deserve based on the market. And so that's where I feel like Dak Prescott is. I feel like he's okay with getting traded, he's okay with leaving, but then he's completely doubled down, him and his team, that you're going to pay me at market. I'm not taking a long contract, and this is what it is, or we can do another tag, or you gonna let me get out of here. That's what's gonna end up happening in this situation. This is gonna be, I fear, Boss Cowboy, this is gonna be a Kirk Cousins situation. And Dak Prescott is gonna make off like a bandit because he's not gonna take the risk that he took on, first of all, who runs your quarterback on a quarterback draw against a hard-hitting defense that's super physical? I can talk about that. Horrible play call. I would never run my quarterback on a QB draw in the middle of the field, maybe on the goal line when he has 5 yards to go in the middle of the field, and you put him in a position where he could get hurt. But Dak Prescott's going to play a lot smarter, and he's not going to put himself in a position to get injured or get his ankle torn up moving forward when he comes back. I guarantee you that.
Well, I think this next comment is a scary one, and I fear that it's true. I hope it's not. I hope not. But what Geechee just said, he said he gonna die trying to doing it his way. I fear that might be true, because the more that I've been just kind of observing us, the more that I really know that that Jerry is content. He wants to win, but he's fully at what's called self-actualization stage, where you've accomplished everything you could ever dream of. Hall of Fame, richest owner, built multiple stadiums, still in commercial real estate, which was his first job out of college. He likely still in awe some kind of way. And He already got the rings. He now I want the rings fully doing no more backing down, no more delegating. And I'm going to say this, Jerry. The saddest part about watching you do this is that you already got power. You already the man. You already the man. I'm going to reference another scripture, man. I don't care. I'm going to do it.
Preaching.
I'm preaching
Go
today.
ahead.
So, like, Satan himself, nobody was ever made like him according to scriptures. He was already the man, but it wasn't enough. It was not enough. He wanted to be like the Most High. It wasn't enough. Like, it takes a lot of humility to say, I get credit even if I don't get the credit. You know what I mean? Because everybody that's wise would already give you the credit. You don't have to stand out and say, give me the credit. Because every time Kraft lift up that Super Bowl, Belichick had to give it to him. You see what I'm saying? Everybody always acknowledges you at the end that you the ultimate decision maker. You're the guy. So all of these egotistical games that we play over trying to win a negotiation over your quarterback, and then you did this to Zach Martin. Man, Aikman said last week that he tried to get him to take team friendly. Romo, like, this is what he does. But you know the difference, OC? And then we move into our last topic. The difference between Dak and Aikman and Romo, all those dirty negotiations was done in private. They were all ugly.
Yeah.
Jerry tried to get everybody for cheap. That is just what he's gonna do. He's gonna Scrooge McDuck everybody. Don't take it personal. It don't got nothing to do with color. He don't care if you purple, green, white, black, orange. He's gonna try to gut you like a fish. We know that. He's Scrooge. He's a billionaire because he's Scrooge. That's okay. Give him his credit. But you doing your quarterback like this in public, it's wild to me. Let me before we get into our last subject, OC. Once again, we got a lot of people watching us different ways, right? So we got people that's watching us through the phones, and I appreciate that. But make sure y'all share before we turn it in. And then also, OC, you got anything else?
Absolutely. Listen, if you like our content, you want more shows just like this, more guests, more features, you want us to continue to improve the show, hey, please support us. Cash App, $ Boss Cowboy. That's Cash App, $ Boss Cowboy. Thank you so much for your consideration and support.
I can't end it, bro. I'm sorry. Jaquez, he keep preaching, bro. I can't see it coming. Well, I'm going to read it anyway. He said it kills the morale. Let's see if it can come up because it's too good. There it is. Whew. It kills the morale in the locker room. I was just finna move on too, but I got to address that.
Yeah.
Morale has to be managed, man. The Dallas Cowboys is one of the only teams that act like morale is just BS. Morale is very, very important, and Jaquez, G-Key hit that nail on the head. When you watch Dak break his ankle and you see all that support that was around him on game day, and these guys watch the owner publicly steal needle at the captain and leader, it says to them, if you doing this guy like that, I ain't got a shot. If you Jordan Lewis, you like, I might as well pack it up. I ain't gonna try to stay here, man. Because they gonna take me through hell. They taking Dak through hell. So these last games, I'm playing for me. I'm not playing for my brothers. I'm not playing for my coach. I'm not playing for my owner. I'm playing for me. So, man, you had something else on that? Because it seemed like I sparked something.
Yeah, you know, as one of my business mentors told me something that is really relevant to this. It goes like this: you can be king or rich, but you can't be both.
Wow.
You can be king,
You can be
or
king,
you can be rich.
You can be rich,
but you can't be both. And so, in terms of winning in the NFL, in terms of winning Super Bowls, see what initially, to your point, Boss Cowboy, what Jerry Jones wanted to do was he wanted to be rich, and so he did whatever it took. He let coaches come in that could help him. Okay, and we know primarily who that coach is.
Yep.
Right? He made the appropriate decisions. He did what he had to do. In other words, he released a measure of control of the organization.
Right.
So now he's bent on being king. Complete control. My way or the highway. And that's okay, because you can make a lot of money and you can be king. But you can't be king and you can't be rich at the same time, and that's what's going on with the Dallas Cowboys. You got to choose one or the other.
Marcus Contreras, he disagrees. He said Jerry is king and rich. This is what the OC is saying. He's not talking about titles. He's talking about being a king. He's not talking about the title of a king. It's almost like a leader. It's a lot of leaders that got titles. They're the manager, but they're not a leader. They don't lead their people. They come in late. They leave early. They do all the stuff that's not leadership, but they are managers. You see what I'm saying? So, Marcus, I see what you're saying. Yes, Jerry is king and he's rich, but he's not being kingly.
And let me clarify, Boss Cowboy, for Marcus's sake, okay? And thank you for your comment, Marcus. I appreciate you.
I knew what you meant.
When I say king and rich, I mean in terms of wins. I mean in terms of Super Bowls. So let me give you a functional example. Robert Kraft, he's king, he's rich, because they've won a myriad of Super Bowls. But has he pushed out the Patriots to be the marketing engine that the Cowboys is? Absolutely not. Nobody in the NFL, in terms of teams, is on the Dallas Cowboys level in terms of marketing, in terms of things of that nature, in terms of worldwide recognition. But in terms of him being rich in the things that matter, wins, Super Bowls, he's rich. The owners of the Pittsburgh Steelers, those guys are also very rich. Always a playoff contender, multiple Super Bowls. Have they publicized and marketed the Pittsburgh Steelers? And you have a strong Steelers fan base. That's true. But is it the marketing engine? Do you see mass control by the ownership? Or do you see they put key people in place and they let those people make key decisions, run the team, and make personnel decisions that will help the team now and in the future? That's what I mean when I say king versus rich. King is delegated authority. Rich is delegated authority, Mm-hmm. Being king is having complete control, but not having the ultimate results that you could have. And that's what I mean.
Hey, man, next time you say king, you better define that then, Jesus Christ, because that king meant a lot.
I got it. I got you.
Appreciate
man.
it.
I got you.
Well, you just say
not trying.
Now, listen, hold on. Cheap plug. My boy wrote a book called Weapons of Kings. So he will, and y'all go follow that book too. It's a real good read. Listen, it's called Weapons of Kings. So he wrote a book, literal book. It's under his name. When did you write that book? 2 years ago? But anyway, you wrote a book.
About a year and a half.
So when he's talking about kings, he's talking from a studied place. Like he studied this. So this is a passion of his. So anyway, our last subject, Philly. Eagles are slightly favored to beat the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas, according to obviously a Philadelphia article? Go.
I really think that, the Eagles, hey, they have Jalen Hurts. We spoke about him earlier. I think he's multidimensional. I think he's doing a really, really good job. Would I pick him as a quarterback over Andy Dalton? Absolutely, yes. However, Andy Dalton has done a good job managing offense. He has completed passes. He has shown flashes of brilliance, actually, if I'm honest about it. And I think that, this is a pick'em game. It's another tough division game, and it's 100% a pick'em game. The Cowboys have been committed to finishing the season strong. So, they're not tanking, right? We talked about the tank strategy. I still think, me and Boss Cowboy, we still think that's the smartest thing to do, but they're not tanking. And I understand the reasons why they're not tanking. Momentum, confidence, Coach McCarthy's reputation, right? I get the reasons why, even if I don't agree with the reasons why. So this is a pick'em game. Cowboys have some momentum. I think that if the Eagles can hold on to the football and they don't have a lot of turnover drives, and I think they're able to actually make some plays on the Cowboys defense, well, everybody else has, so why not them? And I think that, hey, it's a tough game. It's a division rivalry game, and we'll see what happens.
Well, my brother OC, I agree with the article. They should be slightly favored to win. And I'm looking at this from just a matchup perspective, not heart, not hope and all this kind of stuff, just pure matchup, right? So I think they're strong where we were weak. Their defensive front have been playing really, really good, okay, the last 3 weeks. And we saw, in my opinion, in the San Francisco game, really good interior penetration. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they was winning in the middle. And I think we're going to see that again. And Andy was holding the ball. Now, he made good throws, but he showed indecisiveness versus San Fran that he didn't show with the Bengals. I do believe that Dallas was trying to tank that game. I mean that, bro. Because if Dallas wasn't trying to tank the San Fran game, we got some problems. Like, for instance, I looked at the rotation of the receivers, and I looked at the amount of targets to Noah Brown. Come on. You don't have a Cooper. You don't have a Gallup for half the game, and a Lamb, and target Noah that much. And if that's not tanking, I'm going to start getting on that Kelly Moore or Andy Dalton, whoever was making that decision, man. Come on, man. Come on. That's basic. The people that's supposed to have your best targets is your best weapons. That's basic. And we were seeing stuff in that game that was like, now, sometimes you try to tank, and those guys, the players never gonna want to tank. The players have way more incentives to win than the owners and maybe the coach. So, but going back to Philly, I do believe you right when you say that it's gonna be a dogfight. But actually, I think, and I'm not saying this hoping this happens, even though I am, because I am actually hoping we lose. I'm thinking that our season is on us. I think Hurts is better. I think he's motivated to try to take out Wentz, and I just think it's not gonna happen for us. They, by most analysis, are in front of us in the draft because it's a lot of people that want to say right now, and I'm gonna say this with all my heart, man. They want to say people that want to lose are fake. I've been hearing that by a lot of Cowboy fans. I'm gonna tell y'all something. My firstborn son is named Dallas. Don't ever think in your life that winning is not exponentially important to those of us who think that's the best strategy. I love this team. And if I say that, I'm seeing that as the best way to eventually get 6. Okay? I don't want to just go to more games. That is not Boss's goal. Boss wants 6. And I want whatever increased the chance of 6. So some of y'all, that's okay. It's fine that you believe that a quarterback named Andy Dalton, who out of 4 playoff games have 1 touchdown and 6 interceptions, you want to hope, and that's your prerogative. I'm not going to fight you for that. You want to hope that he gets hot against Brady, Breeze, Russell, and likely Mahomes. Fine, and I'm not even knocking him for that, OC. But what I'm saying is, some of us are saying we believe in another strategy, but we still want 6. We just don't want 6 and putting all our eggs in a basket with a .001 chance of winning. So all this y'all fake, we real, we divided, man. That's crazy. Like, that is crazy that people are really pom-pomming like we're real, and the people that want draft picks and priority positions are fake. Fake. Stop it. Like, we are all a family. We just disagree on the best path forward. And see, this one thing Boss not gonna do. Boss would rather grow slow with truth than to grow fast lying. I'm not gonna tell y'all stuff y'all wanna hear just so I can get some subscribers. No. If Boss said, Boss gave it thought. My firstborn son is Dallas. So if you are outsider of my city saying OC, Boss, different people that want us to get these draft picks are fake, come on, stop it, man. We too divided over something that's just a different general strategy. Because I'm thinking like a general. Sometimes you got to sacrifice and make hard decisions for the overall war. You got anything else on that, OC?
Yeah, I mean, here are some numbers for you guys. Listen, if the Cowboys do win out, based on statistical data, they have a 23% chance to make the playoffs. 23% chance, right? So, I mean, if you talk about tanking versus winning these 2 games, it's almost it's bordering on irrelevant at this point. It's just, do you want to finish strong for morale, or do you just want to position yourself to get the highest draft pick as possible so that you could use it as leverage and or get other draft picks, right? You want to just make sure that you got to think for the future at this point versus the here and now. Now, I'm not saying I just want to see the Cowboys go out there and quit. No, but at the end of the day, what makes sense? No, not the players at all. But what makes sense for the overall future of the organization? And then think about this. What does winning the next 2 games actually really do? Okay? What does it really do? What does it really accomplish? Anything of significance? Right? So I think that you got to measure this whole thing out. I mean, you got to be realistic, you know, in terms of like your viewpoints and, you know, what's a plausible argument versus what's an argument that doesn't have much legs. And so, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, can the Cowboys with more draft picks be competitive to win the NFC East next year? Right? That's really what you should be thinking about. What needs to happen to make the Cowboys strong enough so they can be competitive or have a chance to win the NFC East next year?
Oh, see, I need to borrow
Yes, sir.
$100,000 today. Can you wire it over right now, please?
Absolutely not. But you know you're my boy.
Hey, listen, man. You wouldn't do that because you know the value of that $100,000. You worked hard. I'm not even acting like you got it in your pocket. You don't listen. We just a metaphor, y'all.
This is hypothetical.
This is hypothetical. So it's like, and I'm gonna put it like this because I don't want to kind of break this down because I shouldn't have to. Every draft position has a monetary value. Monetary. Every draft pick has a tradable value. So the only reason it's popular to say who cares about a draft pick is because we still have a 23% chance of getting in. But I always ask those people, and they stop fighting me when I ask them, what's your end goal? To get in or to win it? Because if your goal is to get in, pom on. Cheerlead, go. I'm all for it. You're not a quitter. If your end goal is a Super Bowl, delayed gratification is the best option. And you should be hoping for it. And see, I'm gonna say something. Cause it's crazy, OC. Cause see what I'm saying, cause I'm not shy about saying it. Like, it's not American to say we should lose. It's not what we've been taught our whole life when we watch movies and Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. Against all odds, Andy Dalton will pull out his sword and his red hair, and he will be almost become like a superhero and just lead us. But it's funny though. But when we playing games and we listening to music, the games teach us the real thoughts. Like, all money, not good money. We've heard that. You know exactly how to apply that. Know when to hold them. Know when to fold them. Oh, we know this wisdom. But we know it well. That's why those songs were best hits. Because it just registered that sometimes it's not good to take this opportunity because that guy that's trying to give you a job used to like your wife. Oh, it's time to fold. Right? Andy Dalton is the path forward. Oh, it's time to fold. If we being honest. Because I want to load up on Dak. And I don't apologize. I don't care if we grow slow. I don't care if y'all don't share. Well, I do care. But we should at least be able to have an intelligent back and forth without anybody labeling anybody. You know? Because sometimes, even in war, my boy Jaquez said it best. He said it right before I was getting ready to say it. And then OC, you got it. I love this comment he just said. Live to fight another day. Retreat is also a strategy. Retreat is a strategy. The reason why OC, me and you are not slaves right now is because the South didn't know when to quit. They kept charging when they needed to rest their men. Their egos is why they lost the war. And that's why African Americans or blacks, however you want to label us, So yeah,
here's the
sometimes
deal.
you gotta
Are you greedy?
know. You gotta know. Now, if we get in the playoffs, I'm gonna sit back like this. Okay, Andy, you owe me a good performance. I don't want to see what I've been seeing, because what I've been seeing is not gonna be Breeze. It's not gonna be Brady. It's not. I don't care how many pom-poms and hopes and energy you trying to soak up with positive people. Come on, man. So I want at least, if you get in, I'm not go mad. I'm not gonna spit at it. We messed up on those drafts. I'm gonna say, okay, well, since we in, and everybody that just wanted this better get us close. At minimum close. Because if you did all this talking about us, calling people fake and all this over a first round knockout, I'm gonna be like, bro, was it worth it? Was it worth it to spit on everybody? Like, I hate the wars that's going on. It's everywhere. It is everywhere. And what I'm gonna tell you what they trying to do. They trying to bully you. They not gonna bully Boss. Boss is gonna speak his mind. Y'all not gonna make me cower down to what's not best for my city and my team. I'm not. I'm in the mind of Jimmy Johnson. And Jimmy Johnson said this, OC. Give me Jimmys and Joes before X's and O's. And I wish we had social media when we traded Herschel. I wish we did. I wish we did. Because, see, social media is what got everybody so bold to just call everybody fake and all this old crazy stuff. No.
Well, you know, it's a lot of courage sitting behind a screen, you know, Boss Cowboy.
Man,
it's a tremendous amount of courage.
Yeah, social media
people
does
have
that.
behind.
Yeah, social media make people
tremendous
like,
amount of courage.
Like, we can have a discussion about this with intelligence without calling out people's goals. I'm from Dallas, man. Go ahead, OC. I'm sorry.
No, listen, you know, in the words of a great coach, you know, players win games. Schemes are overrated. I'll say it again. Players win games. Schemes are overrated. So if you have the chance at any point to acquire good and quality players and your team is not on a level to be competitive for a championship or close to a championship, then your default should always be to take the opportunity to get better players. That is ultimately what will win football games and all other stuff, Boss Cowboy. You know, we talk about this offline, but you know, I don't really, it don't really bother me what you say. You know, just bring some sound facts. We can discuss it. I mean, bring some sound logic, some sound reasonings. We can discuss it. I'm open to be wrong if I'm actually wrong, and you have something to say that can say that I'm actually wrong.
My boy Tyson,
just you know, just
he got objection, so we gonna address it. So my boy
let's deal with it,
bruh. It's about culture. All right, I've been hearing this from a lot of people.
Oh my goodness. And
this is the thing, Tyson. I would say this. You know what a hypothesis is, and you know the scientific method, how it works. That once
don't go too
deep,
boss.
No, I'm not going deep. I'm just No, listen, a scientific method, basically, if anything disproves that theory, it's not a fact. Okay? So, in 2015, we were 4-12. In 2016, we went 13-3 with rookies. So, based on that, the hypothesis that losing affects culture and creates a losing culture, there's no evidence of that, especially on our own team. Because if that was true, Jimmy Johnson would not have tanked when he did with Herschel. Because see, Herschel, OC, I'm not singling out my boy West because he's my boy. This is for everybody. People forget that Herschel Walker was a mid-season trade. Mid-season. So before the trade deadline. Then they got Herschel. And when they got rid of Herschel, the agreement said, if you cut these players and they don't work out, we got to give you a draft pick. This is historical. So what happened was he got him and immediately cut him. For what? The draft picks. The draft picks. Who did he get out of that? Emmett, Darren Woodson, Maryland, rocks. I mean, rocks of the team. So if Jimmy Johnson was saying, culturally, I want us to win, we wouldn't have got the 3, almost 4 Super Bowls that we got. And some of us are looking at it like that. That's how some of us are looking at it. It doesn't mean Tyson is wrong at all. Tyson loves the Cowboys, extremely passionate about it. I know that. I've been rocking with him a year and a half. Also, those that believe in a different strategy forward love the Cowboys. And if they lose, because I believe in a strategy, it affects me. I say, damn it, I wanted to load up even more like Jimmy Johnson. It don't make me fake. It just makes me like Jimmy, who sometimes, because Jimmy said this, and we talking about one of our greatest coaches. He said when he got here, the first thing he wasn't trying to win. The first thing he said he was trying to do is get players. You got something on that, OC?
Yeah, let me just define culture. And now culture could be also just related to like microbiology, but that's not the term that's used here. So culture is really just an umbrella term that people use to talk about social behaviors and like what's normal, right? As well as like knowledge, beliefs, and a way of doing things, okay? So a way of doing things for the Cowboys the last several years, I mean, has been not a winning culture. This is why Jason Garrett is not here. So respectfully, if we're talking about culture, then we got to address the whole kit and caboodle, right? This is not relative to 2 games. This is relative to almost 2 decades or 2 decades now of basically not being able to get in the Super Bowl or win a Super Bowl, right? All Dallas Cowboy fans, at the end of the day, if you're a diehard Dallas Cowboy fans, you're a Super Bowl or bust. That's what you are. You're a Super Bowl or bust type of person, right? So at the end of the day, if we talk about culture, we have to talk about the origins, the roots, what's normal. Does upper management talk to players? Do players respect coaches? Do coaches get held accountable for poor performance? Or do they stay longer than they should? Do the wrong players get overcompensated while the best players get shunned and mistreated in public? And we're talking about culture. We got to talk about a lot of factors if we're talking about culture. But to summarize this, the culture hasn't been a culture of being a Super Bowl contender or winner, okay, for a couple decades. So the culture, whatever that culture is, however you want to define that culture, has to improve and it has to change.
And then, like, I would say this also on culture. Before we even get too deep in culture, the first people that need to fix their culture is the Joneses itself. We can't talk about culture as long as we allowing them to publicly do what they just did, like when they basically threw their quarterback under the bus. When you do stuff like this, that's culture. That culture does way worse than losing these last 2 games. So, like, you know, the culture, it sounds good. It's a good theory. but it's something that don't really hold no weight historically at all. I'm gonna read one more of his comments, because this one the one I can't stand this one. He say, if you want to lose on purpose, you're not a true fan of that thing that you can be Lakers, Cowboys, Mavs, anything. See, that's where the fans, our fans, lose me when they say you're not a true fan. That's actually very insulting, bro. Like, I'm from Dallas, bro. To say you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't question our fandom because we disagree with the path forward. You never should do that. Like, we disagree, but that don't make us not true fans. Like, all of us are fans. The only thing that makes you a fake fan if you're disagreeing just to be a troll. I know you, Tyson. You know me and should know better than to say I'm not a true fan. Because when you say that, especially on my show, that's what you're saying. That's not cool. Like, we all gotta chill on this type of stuff, man. Like, I love your passion. I love my passion. Ain't nobody realer than the other because we disagree. So yeah, I'm gonna move on from that. But let's stop. All of us need to stop that real fake stuff. It's as simple as this. It's as simple as this. If you believe that Andy Dalton, I know everybody's stopping at getting in. My question for everybody is what next after you get in? And you know what they're gonna say? Anything can happen. Yeah, that's that 0.0001%. No, I am real because I want at least 30% chance. I'm real for that, not fake. Yeah, I'm moving on. So you got something else on that, OC?
You know, I don't really got a lot to say about that. I mean, true fans want the success of the organization however they can get it. That's what a true fan is, right? The merit of your fanship is not based upon 2 games and looking for the future for draft picks and what you could get, because the whole goal of losers is not to say I hate the Cowboys and I want them to lose. The whole goal, if you lost, was to get yourself in a better position so you could be a winning organization. So that doesn't make sense and hold water or weight to me. Because true fans want a long-term what's best. Okay, if the Dallas Mavs, if you bring up sports teams, if the Dallas Mavs had not basically tanked, would they have gotten Luka Doncic?
No, they wouldn't have.
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
They wouldn't have got him.
So if the Lakers, since we're talking about LA, wasn't as bad as they were, would they have gotten Kobe? Absolutely not.
Man, I love this show.
So at some point, we gotta kind of be wise and be balanced and measured with our comments and think before we speak and understand that the long-term goals and good of an organization is not merited on a few games. It's merited on the possibility and the opportunity to get talent in the door. No matter how you get that talent, so your organization can grow and be strong and be what you want it to be. I'm out on that, Boss Cowboy. Let's keep moving.
All right, I want to take Jose, because see, Jose summed it up the West, Mr. Santiago. Because I think this might be where the confusion coming in with some. Because we've explained this very well on this show before. But Jose is going to explain it again, and I love it. The players as a whole will never tank, so it doesn't matter. Exactly. You not telling the players to quit. I'm not telling the players to quit. I am just hoping for the betterment of our future that we don't get in. Because I don't believe at all that Andy is going to get us there. I'm looking at the evidence of his play. I'm looking at him historically. And I'm looking at who he got to face. and I'm being very realistic on what gives our Cowboys the best chance, and that's loading up with Dak. That is real. That is not fake. And he said that's a fan state of mind, but some coaching decisions make you question. Exactly. Perfectly. I mean, you can't say it no better, Jose. That's perfectly said. That
Good comment, Jose.
you can sit back and look at it like, okay, we getting ready to load up now. That's exactly what Jimmy did. He was like, and people forget, Herschel was our best player by a mile. We got rid of our best assets because he wanted players. So it's, it's heathen there on that, man. I'm not gonna get into no self-righteous talk about who real, who no. This is a discussion. That's the discussion about the best path forward. Let me see. Last comment, and I know you gotta go. See. Yeah, no more good comments. Everybody saying move on. I agree. So, I really appreciate everybody for coming out and definitely listening to the Boss Cowboy Hour with the OC and Boss Cowboy. Also, y'all really reach out to Blue, especially if you have anybody that need trainings or anything like that. He's really good at it. If you have any Dallas Cowboy players that you feel like might need strength, I want people like Blue working with people like Connor Williams, because I feel strongly, based on his resume with Errol Spence and the work that he does in building strength, that people like him are a major asset. I mean, exponential asset. So, and remember this, there's no salary cap on coaching and coaches. So when Jerry said he's willing to write a check to win, Lincoln Riley might cost you double. Blue might cost you a little bit more. You feel me, OC?
I feel you.
All right, man. So y'all take it easy. And if anybody really want to have this discussion in the public, I'll let you on the show. We'll go back and forth on this. I promise you. Y'all take it easy, man.
Yep, absolutely.
Love, peace, and hair grease.